Good morning, this is Gidget with the Graham team at Crown Point Realty, here with your Sunday morning real estate snippet. Well, there's been some interesting dynamics this last week in regards to the real estate market. We had a marketing analyst give a large announcement. He's not from the real estate background per se, but he made a statement that said he didn't believe home ownership was a wise investment. And of course, that put all the analysts that are on the housing cycle now, where does he getting this data from? So I'd like to kind of get a little perspective of where he's coming from. First of all, he's a very wealthy man, a multi-millionaire, so he makes wise investment decisions. But he also lives in the New York market, which is one of the most costly places to live. And there, where rent control is a factor for some of the people that are living there, it might make more sense to rent versus own because of the affordability factor. However, that's not the case for most Americans. Also, he is looking at and comparing that to some of the investment opportunities that he personally has access to, which 99% of Americans don't have access to. We don't have access to the inside scoop as to what IPOs are coming out, how strong they're going to be. We don't have the analytical background to make those solid decisions. So those are something that's, for most of us, that's outside of our scope of expertise. Where the 1% of us need to know how to invest our $15,000 to $50,000 that we're planning on using for house payment and down payment, and does that make sense? Well, the Joint Center of Housing at Harvard University produced this report behind us. As you can see, at age 65, on the average homeowner has net worth at age 65 at $319,000, with 50% of that net worth being in their home. In comparison to the renters at age 65 only having a net worth average of $6,700. So I think that graph is by itself is pretty telling of why it makes sense on home equity. It's just a forced savings plan. It makes sense for us not only to put aside each month from our own cash flow versus our putting into the pockets of our renters or in our investors, but also we're paying ourselves interest, so through appreciation. So the investment is also not only in your home, in your investment portfolio in your home, but it's also about your quality of life, the enjoyment, where you're building your family and friends. We kind of talked about that last week. How important is it for you to have a place where you can build those special memories? It also is a reflection of you. You get to make it look like you, sound like you, control your own destiny at your home. No one's going to give you a 30-day notice that says you have to move out in 30 days. What I like most about real estate is it's tangible. I can touch it, I can feel it, I know it's mine. I can make my own decisions with it. So if I don't sell it, I'm not going to lose funds, and I know I can hold that on for 15, 20 years, make a solid investment. For those of you who are looking at, hey, I might have to move in the next 3 to 5 years. As I mentioned in our housing market report last January, 6 out of the 6 top real estate analysts and marketing analysts in the United States predict that housing is going to have a stable appreciation this year and into 2020. What do we call a stable appreciation? They're predicting somewhere between the 3 and 5% range. So if you take 3 to 5% as a appreciation factor and you put in the amount you're saving for yourself in that I call that controlled savings account, you're putting into your net worth. So from 99% of us, owning our home makes not only a solid investment, it also makes a strong emotional investment in our families. So just wanted to give you a little snippet of what's happening in the market. So reach out to me if you have any questions. Have a great Sunday.